long before kingdoms rose in Africa, long before pyramids touched the sky, long before iron tools, written alphabets, or carved stones. There were people who walked lightly across the earth, following the rhythm of seasons and stars, people whose voices echoed through caves more ancient than empires, people who carried the memories of humanity's first steps. These were the San, the Khoisan, the world's oldest living culture, a civilization not marked by monuments of stone, but by 100,000 years of wisdom, passed breath to breath, story to story. This is their story. In the vast deserts of Botswana, Namibia, and South Africa, the San walked where their ancestors walked for tens of thousands of years. Their DNA, the thread of life, traces back to some of the very first humans. To them, the land is not a possession. It is a partner, a grandmother, a teacher. Every bush, every track in the sand, every shift of the wind carries meaning. Where others see emptiness, the San see a library, an ancient script written in footprints and shadows. Scientists say the Khoisan language family is one of the world's most ancient. Its clicks echo the sounds of the early human tongue, perhaps the very first language. In the northwest of Botswana rises a cluster of sacred hills. Tsodilo, the Louvre of the desert. Here, over 30,000 years of rock paintings tell a story older than civilization. Painted in reds, whites, blacks, and ochres, they show eland antelope, hunters with bows, ritual dancers. For the San, Tsodilo is not art. It is memory. One legend says the first people emerged from these rocks. Another says the Creator struck the ground with a staff, opening a crack through which all humans came into the world. Every drawing is a whisper from the ancestors. Every line is a chapter of an unbroken story. San hunters are among the most skilled trackers ever known. Barefoot, with a bow, a quiver of poisoned arrows, and knowledge passed down over millennia, they can follow an animal for days through scorching desert. The San do not simply chase an animal. They read it. A bent blade of grass means direction. A deeper footprint means fatigue. Urine scent on a stone means how many hours ago the animal passed. Their hunting is spiritual. The San believe every animal has a spirit. Before the hunter speaks softly to the soul of the animal, asking forgiveness. And when the animal falls, the hunter places his hand on its flank, honoring the life given. Their arrows are small, but deadly, tipped with poison from the beetle larva of the Diamphidia species. A single drop can bring down an antelope. But the San use poison with respect. They collect it carefully, store it in small quills, and teach children how to handle it only when they are ready. The bow and poison tradition is more than a hunting tool. It is a cultural symbol of survival, ingenuity, and ancestral knowledge. At night, when the stars stretch like silver threads across the desert sky, the San gather around a fire. The first fire, they call it, the fire that connects them to the beginning of the world. They dance. They clap. They chant. They enter trance. In this trance, healers travel to the spirit world to fight sickness and misfortune. Their bodies tremble, and their breath deepens as Enam, the healing energy, rises from their stomach into their heads. In this state, they believe they can cure illness, bring rain, speak to ancestors, see visions. This healing dance has been practiced for thousands of years, unchanged by time. It is one of humanity's oldest spiritual rituals. San women are central to society. They gather food, berries, nuts, roots, providing nearly 70% of the community's diet. Their digging sticks, passed from mother to daughter, are tools of survival. Their knowledge of plants is legendary. Which roots store water? Which leaves heal wounds? Which berries feed children? Women also lead in storytelling, teaching children the myths, laws, and morals that have guided the San longer than recorded history. To the San, no animal is more sacred than the eland. It appears in their rock art, rituals, and initiation ceremonies. They believe the eland carries powerful spiritual energy. At a young boy's first successful hunt, an elder paints an eland shape above his heart. For girls, the eland dance marks the transition to womanhood. The San say, "Where the eland walks, blessings follow." For thousands of years, the San lived freely. But colonialism, farming, fences, and governments pushed them from their ancient lands. Many were forced into settlements. Some were banned from hunting. Others lost access to ancestral territories now turned into national parks. Their lifestyle, the oldest on Earth, became endangered. Yet the San continue to stand strong. They fight legal battles to return to their lands. They teach their children the old ways. They work with archaeologists to preserve sacred sites. The San's resilience is the continuation of a 100,000-year story. Scientists often say the San are living windows into humanity's past, but this is not to reduce them to fossils or relics. The San are masters of adaptation, storytellers, artists, healers, and thinkers. They show the world how ancient knowledge can coexist with modern life. Their culture is a mirror reflecting where humans came from, and what we must never forget. In the red sands of the Kalahari, a child sits beside her grandmother. The fire crackles. Stars shimmer. A story begins. It is a story told for 100,000 years. A story about creation, animals, spirits, and the first footsteps of humans. The grandmother speaks. The child listens. And in that moment, the oldest flame in human history continues to burn. Because as long as the San live, as long as they dance, hunt, paint, heal, and tell stories, the fire of the first people will never die. Like, share, and subscribe as we uncover more African history.